Have you ever found yourself wide awake at exactly 3 a.m., lying silently in the dark, staring at the ceiling, wondering why sleep abandoned you again? You're not alone, and you're not imagining things either. For countless older adults, these early morning wake-ups aren't random or meaningless. They're part of a deeper pattern, one that reveals how your body, mind, and life evolve over time. Contrary to what some believe, waking up at 3 a.m. isn't just part of getting old or the result of a bad dream. It's often your body's way of sending a subtle signal about your health, your habits, even your emotional world. And if you've ever felt frustrated, confused, or even a little defeated by these nightly interruptions, this video is here to change that. We're about to explore 5 powerful and surprising reasons why so many seniors wake up around 3 a.m. And each one isn't just backed by science, it's rooted in real, lived experience. From the quiet shifts in your hormones to the emotional echoes of a long life lived fully, these insights will help you understand that your sleep isn't broken, it's just different now. And that's not a bad thing. Because once you understand what's happening beneath the surface, you'll not only feel more at peace with your body, you'll be able to support it, nurture it, and maybe even fall back into a deeper, more restful sleep. So let's begin with one of the most common, but least understood causes: your body's changing relationship with melatonin. Reason number 1: decline in melatonin production. Melatonin is often called the sleep hormone. It's your body's natural signal that says, hey, it's time to rest. And when you were younger, your body made plenty of it, consistently, reliably, night after night. But with age, that production begins to slow down. Not because something is wrong, but because your internal systems evolve. This decline can make it harder to stay asleep, especially in the early hours of the morning. So even if you fall asleep just fine at 9 or 10 p.m., by the time 3 a.m. rolls around, your melatonin levels may have dropped too low to keep you in that deep, restorative sleep phase. The result? You wake up. Not because of stress or a bad dream, but because your brain simply doesn't have enough melatonin to stay in sleep mode. It gently shifts back into wakefulness, and suddenly, there you are, staring at the ceiling in silence. Let's take Harold, age 73. For most of his life, he slept like a rock. But recently, he's been waking up at 3:15 a.m. almost every night. No pain, no panic, just alertness. At first, he thought something was wrong. But after learning about melatonin's decline with age, he stopped blaming himself. Now, Harold keeps his bedroom pitch dark, avoids screen time for an hour before bed, and takes a short walk at sunset. These simple adjustments help signal to his body that it's still nighttime, even at 3 a.m. And while he still wakes up occasionally, the frustration is gone. He understands what's happening, and that understanding is powerful. Melatonin isn't just a hormone. It's a quiet ally. And when it starts to fade, your body needs a little extra help to stay in rhythm. With a few mindful changes, you can work with your biology, not against it. Reason number 2: the internal clock that moves ahead with age. Have you noticed that your evenings seem to grow quieter and shorter with time? Maybe you start yawning earlier, drifting off during a movie, or waking up before the sunrise without setting an alarm. It's not just coincidence. It's your body's circadian rhythm, and as you age, it quietly begins to shift. This natural phenomenon is called advanced sleep phase syndrome, and it affects many older adults without them even realizing it. Simply put, your internal clock starts to tick a bit earlier. Where once you might have stayed up until midnight and slept until 8 a.m., you now feel drowsy by 8:30 p.m. and fully awake by 3 or 4 a.m. Your body isn't malfunctioning, it's just operating on a different schedule. When we're younger, our sleep cycles tend to match the modern world: active evenings, late dinners, busy mornings. But with age, our biological rhythms return to something more primal. Without the demands of work, commuting, or constant stimulation, your body begins to listen to its natural signals, and those signals often say, wind down earlier. Wake up with the birds. This shift can feel frustrating, especially if your life or family routine doesn't align with it. But it's not a flaw, it's your body syncing itself with the sun, the quiet, and the slower pace of life. Let's meet Charles, age 68. Since retiring, he's kept a calm routine: dinner around 5:30, a bit of reading, then bed by 9 p.m. And like clockwork, he wakes up around 3 a.m., wide awake and unsure why. At first, he worried something was wrong. But after learning about the advanced sleep phase, everything clicked. He wasn't suffering from insomnia. He wasn't anxious or ill. He was simply well rested by 3 a.m. because he had already completed a full sleep cycle. To adjust, Charles made a few small changes, staying up just 30 minutes later, calling his daughter for an evening chat, or taking a gentle stroll after dinner. These tweaks didn't overhaul his life, but they gently nudged his internal clock forward, helping him sleep until closer to dawn. It's easy to overlook how powerful routine is. The lights you use, the conversations you have, the sounds in your home, all send quiet signals to your brain, telling it when to rest and when to rise. And when those signals change, your sleep changes too. This isn't something to fear, it's something to understand. Your sleep cycle isn't broken, it's reshaped by time, wisdom, and biology. And when you start listening to your body instead of fighting it, sleep becomes less of a struggle and more of a partnership. If you find yourself rising at 3 a.m. and wondering why, take a look at your evening habits. When do you eat dinner? What's your nighttime routine? Are you signaling bedtime too early without realizing it? You don't need to fight the clock, you just need to know what time your body believes it is. And once you do, you can gently adjust your rhythm in a way that serves both your body and your life. Reason number 3: physical discomfort and health interruptions. Sometimes, it's not stress or overthinking that pulls you out of sleep at 3 a.m., it's your own body, gently but persistently asking for attention. As we grow older, our physical systems go through changes that can make us more sensitive to even minor discomforts. Things that barely registered when we were younger, an aching knee, a stiff shoulder, a slightly full bladder, now have the power to wake us up in the stillness of night. And while these disruptions may feel small in the moment, they hold valuable clues. Take arthritis, for instance. It's incredibly common in older adults, and while it might not bother you much during the day, hours of staying in the same sleeping position can cause stiffness and soreness that builds quietly. By 3 a.m., your body simply can't ignore it anymore. So, it wakes you up, not to punish you, but to protect you. Then there's the issue of nighttime urination, medically known as nocturia. As we age, our bladders naturally become less elastic, and our kidneys may produce more urine at night. This means even a small urge can feel urgent, and suddenly, you're up and heading to the bathroom, only to find it hard to fall back asleep afterward. Let's talk about Eleanor, age 76. She considered herself a light sleeper, but over the past year, she noticed something new. She was waking up at 3:30 a.m. almost every night, needing to use the restroom. At first, she thought it was just part of getting older. But after a gentle conversation with her doctor, she discovered that one of her medications was affecting her hydration balance, making nighttime wake-ups more frequent. With a simple change in dosage timing and a few adjustments to her evening routine, like limiting fluids 2 hours before bed, she was able to reduce those 3 a.m. interruptions and return to sleep more peacefully. Another subtle disruptor: acid reflux, especially if dinner is eaten late or you lie down too soon afterward. Lying flat can cause stomach acid to rise, leading to discomfort that doesn't always feel like pain, but just enough of a disturbance to break your sleep cycle. Even small things like dry mouth, a drop in room temperature, or tight bedding can become amplified at night, when your senses are heightened and the world around you is still. And once you're awake, even briefly, it becomes more difficult to fall back into deep sleep, especially if light or noise enters the picture. Let's not forget the side effects of common medications, either. Blood pressure pills, diuretics, and certain pain relievers often carry subtle sleep-related consequences. Things most people never think to connect. But here's the truth: these wake-ups are not a sign of weakness. They're signs that your body is still responsive, still protecting you, still trying to maintain balance. Instead of seeing 3 a.m. awakenings as a burden, consider them an opportunity to check in. What's your body trying to tell you? Is it comfort? Hydration? A medication that needs revisiting? With awareness comes power, and with power comes the ability to create small changes that lead to better rest. Reason number 4: lifestyle habits that quietly reshape your sleep. Sometimes the most powerful changes in our lives don't happen in dramatic moments, they happen slowly, subtly, through the habits we build day after day. As we grow older, many of us naturally settle into quieter routines. Dinner gets served earlier, evenings become calmer, and physical activity often decreases. These small shifts, while comforting, send powerful signals to the body, signals that it's time to wind down, and wind down earlier than ever before. When bedtime shifts to 8:30 or 9 p.m., and there's little stimulation afterward, no evening walks, no social chats, no late-night problem solving, the body responds by adjusting its sleep window. And that means one thing: you may start waking up much earlier, sometimes right at 3 a.m., because your body thinks, "I've had enough rest." Let's look at Walter, 74 years old and recently retired. He used to live a fast-paced life, commuting, meetings, deadlines. Now his days are peaceful, but also predictable. Supper at 5, TV at 6, and asleep by 8:45, without even meaning to. At first, Walter was confused why he kept waking up in the pitch-black hours of the morning. But once he reflected on his routine, the answer became clear: he had simply shifted his entire day forward. His body was finishing its sleep early because his sleep was starting earlier. And it's not just about timing. What and when you eat matters too. Having dinner too early without a small evening snack can lead to low blood sugar in the middle of the night. You may not feel hungry, but your body notices, and responds with restlessness or wakefulness. Caffeine is another hidden culprit. You might think that a cup of tea or coffee at 2 p.m. is harmless. But as the metabolism slows with age, caffeine can linger longer in the system, lightening sleep and making you more prone to waking at the smallest nudge. These lifestyle habits aren't bad, they're simply unchallenged. And the beautiful part is, they can be gently adjusted. Walter made a few thoughtful changes: a 20-minute walk just before sunset, a more engaging book in brighter evening light, and a rule to avoid dozing off in his recliner after dinner. Slowly, these signals told his body, "We're still in the day. It's not bedtime yet." As a result, his sleep window pushed forward, bedtime closer to 10 p.m., and wake-up time stretching beyond 5. He didn't need a pill or a prescription. Just a few mindful tweaks to his rhythm. We often underestimate how powerful routine is. Our bodies crave pattern, like the rising and setting sun. And when that pattern becomes too soft, too early, the internal clock responds by waking us up before we're ready. The lesson here: if you're waking up at 3 a.m. and can't figure out why, look at your day, not just your night. Are you moving enough? Are you engaging your mind and body after dinner? Are you giving your system enough stimulation to know it's still living in the light? Small, consistent changes can help you reclaim your nights, and sleep in harmony with the life you've worked so hard to build. Reason number 5: emotional echoes in the stillness of night. Not every 3 a.m. wake-up is caused by hormones, health, or routine. Sometimes, it's the heart. In the silence of night, when the world is still, the lights are dim, and distractions are gone, something deeper often rises. Thoughts you didn't expect. Memories you thought had faded. Emotions you've quietly carried for years. And they wait for the stillness to speak. As we age, our lives become quieter. Children move out. The phone rings less often. The rush of careers, deadlines, and obligations slowly fades, and in that space, the mind begins to reflect. It's not anxiety in the traditional sense. It's gentler, more personal. a kind of emotional restlessness that says, there's something I haven't finished thinking about. For some, it's grief, soft memories of a loved one now gone. For others, it's regret, paths not taken, words left unsaid. And for many, it's simply loneliness. The kind that doesn't shout, but whispers when the house is quiet. Take Gloria, 80, a widow for 6 years. During the day, she keeps herself busy, watering her garden, watching her favorite shows, chatting with her granddaughter. But around 3 a.m., she often wakes up, not with panic, but with a deep ache in her chest, a longing she doesn't speak about during the day. At first, she thought something was wrong with her sleep. But over time, she realized, it wasn't her body calling, it was her heart. Now, Gloria keeps a small notebook by her bed. When she wakes up, she writes down whatever's on her mind, memories of her husband, thoughts about her day, simple notes of gratitude or worry. It's her way of giving voice to the silence, and it helps her return to sleep with a little more peace. This kind of emotional wakefulness is a sign of depth, not dysfunction. It shows that your heart still feels, still remembers, still loves. The human spirit doesn't follow the rules of bedtime. It reflects when it wants. And sometimes, that moment is at 3 a.m. So what can you do? Start by honoring it. Don't dismiss these early moments as interruptions. Treat them as invitations. Gentle reminders to listen inward, to show compassion to the parts of yourself that still need healing or acknowledgement. Try a calming nighttime ritual. Soft music, warm herbal tea, or writing a letter you may never send. Let your heart breathe, not just your body rest. You've lived a life full of stories, joys, heartbreaks, lessons, and they don't vanish with age. They shape your sleep, your rhythm, your dreams. And sometimes, they ask to be remembered in the quiet hours before dawn. So if you find yourself awake at 3 a.m., staring at the dark ceiling, ask yourself, what part of me wants to be heard? The answer may surprise you. And it may be the most healing part of your night. Now that we've walked through the 5 most common reasons older adults wake up at 3 a.m., take a quiet moment to breathe. Sit with the insights. Let them settle into your heart, not just your mind. Because what you've just learned isn't only about sleep. It's about you, your body, your story, your evolving rhythm as you move through this precious stage of life. Maybe you saw yourself in Harold, adjusting his bedroom light to support his fading melatonin. Maybe Charles's shifted sleep cycle mirrored your own nightly rhythm. Or perhaps Eleanor's medication or Gloria's quiet emotional echoes spoke directly to something you felt but couldn't explain. Whichever reason resonated most, remember this: waking up at 3 a.m. doesn't mean something is broken. In fact, it means something is still working. Your body is still sensing. Your heart is still feeling. Your mind is still reflecting. And your spirit? It's still growing. This is the beauty of aging that few people talk about, the subtle wisdom, the soft messages your body sends when everything else is quiet. It's not about fixing a problem. It's about tuning in. So, what can you do with these 3 a.m. moments now? You can create space, for peace, not panic. You can adjust routines gently, not forcefully. You can listen to what your body needs, whether it's less caffeine, a deeper evening ritual, or simply acknowledgement that emotions deserve their place in the night. There's a powerful shift that happens when we stop fighting our sleep and start understanding it. And the more you align your habits with compassion rather than frustration, the more restful and meaningful your nights will become. The truth is, you're not just aging. You're evolving. And that evolution deserves to be honored, not rushed, not silenced. So, the next time you wake up at 3 a.m., try this. Don't reach for blame. Reach for awareness. Ask gently, what is my body asking for right now? And whatever the answer is, honor it. Because the softest voices often carry the most powerful wisdom. If this message spoke to you, even in a small way, please share your thoughts in the comments below. What did you learn? Which part felt personal to you? How do you plan to shift your routine or mindset moving forward? Your voice matters, not just to us, but to the entire community watching. And if you haven't already, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell, so you never miss content that truly speaks to you. Thank you for sharing these moments with us. You deserve deep rest, gentle mornings, and a life that feels aligned with your body, your rhythm, and your heart. We'll see you in the next video.